By 1814, France was exhausted. About 1 million French had died in the Napoleonic Wars, depriving the country of its youth and future. The economy was in ruins, and Napoleon had ultimately led France to defeat. And yet, when he landed back in France on March 1st, 1815, instead of resisting, the French rallied to him. How could that be? Napoleon landed at the Golfe Juan near Antibes, located within the Côte d'Azur. He had left the island of Elba a few days prior with 1,100 men, made up of his guard, Polish lancers, and volunteers. The former French emperor sought to quickly march his small force to Grenoble through the beautiful scenery of the Provence. It was there, south of Grenoble at Laffrey, where a legend was told. By this point, Napoleon's return had not gone unnoticed, and the Bourbon king, Louis XVIII, had ordered the 5th Line Regiment to seize the outlaw Bonaparte. Only a single bullet could have changed the course of history. But Napoleon stepped forward and proclaimed, "Soldiers, do you recognize me? If there is one amongst you who wishes to kill your emperor, here I am." A rallying cry rose up amongst the soldiers, and there were emotional scenes as the two platoons became one. Napoleon had truly regained the hearts of his men. After this encounter, each town he passed through became a triumphal procession. People were cheering, and a feeling of joy and pride, not even seen after Austerlitz, arose. To understand both the French citizens and soldiers, we must look at some details regarding this time period. The French had been the first to abolish an unfair system of inequality and robbery. After the surrender of France and the abdication of its emperor in 1814, the country was reduced to its 1792 borders, meaning that all the French lives lost during the Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars were seemingly for nothing. They had ended up right where they started, with a fat, incapable Bourbon king to lead the country. Furthermore, the army was reduced and veterans were left unemployed. Fearing their loyalty, many officers, including some high-ranking ones, were dismissed, and efforts were made to form a new royal army. Merit was once again replaced with birth, affecting all levels of the state. It didn't take long for the population of France to grow extremely discontent. They had gone through so much, but the early years of Napoleon's reign had given the French prosperity, stability, and pride. For many, the decision was quite easy: out with the puppet and back with a real leader. It's very important to say that Napoleon was not welcomed by all with open arms. Many members of the upper middle class, former marshals, including Marmont and Berthier, and others, would never openly pledge loyalty to Napoleon again. There was a significant portion of people within France's borders who feared that Napoleon would bring another war, something that would eventually happen, as all of Europe would go on to declare war on Napoleon, not France. In total, Napoleon's charisma, legend, and bravery re-secured him the loyalty of most of the army, as well as the majority of the French population, who were also partly influenced by the circumstances. Resistance was crushed without a single drop of blood being shed. Upon hearing of Napoleon and Marshal Ney marching to Paris, despite Ney having previously pledged to put Napoleon in an iron cage, Louis XVIII immediately fled to Belgium, accompanied by the few who remained loyal to him.